January 20th, Davos. Not a product launch. Every few years, someone in power says something quietly structural. Not hype, not marketing, not a demo. At Davos, Microsoft's CEO said something most people glossed over. If these AI systems are not improving real productivity, education, health, and competitiveness, we will lose the social permission to keep scaling them. That sentence wasn't about ethics, it was about architecture. Translation: the demo era is ending, the architecture era is beginning, which means big tech has bought enough time, but now the bill is coming due. And here's the uncomfortable question that followed. If AI has to prove real productivity, are we building something that compounds, or are we still rowing the boat? Every operator eventually hits this moment. You're working harder, you're using better tools, you're ahead of the curve, but nothing feels stable. That's when you have to stop and ask, what boat am I actually on? Because the industry keeps telling you the same lie. Row faster, optimize harder, upgrade your stack. But no one tells you to inspect the hull. So let's look at the three boats most builders are on. Boat 1, the banana boat. It's fast, it's fun, it's pulled by someone else's engine. You're moving, but you own nothing. One platform change, one pricing shift, one policy update, and you're in the water again. That's building on rented distribution. Boat number 2, the broken speedboat. Looks serious, sounds powerful, but it only moves because you're constantly bailing water. Every gain requires more effort. Every scale attempts add fragility. This is where most AI SaaS lives. The belief is, if we scale hard enough, it will stabilize. But it doesn't. Boat number 3, the self-navigating ship. It remembers where it's been, learns from every voyage, gets more valuable with time. It doesn't move because you row. It moves because it has gravity. It isn't a product. It's an asset. And that distinction changes everything. Here's what most people still don't want to admit. Foundational models generate tokens, AI agents execute tasks. Neither compounds value by default. Real systems require persistent identity, predictable behavior, auditability, accountability, learning over time. Without that, you don't have intelligence. You have output. And this is why so many AI demos feel magical and fail in production. The risk isn't adopting AI too early. The risk is assuming the first wave was already intelligence. For years, we were sold a dream. Build SaaS, raise capital, exit, be free. But SaaS wasn't about freedom. It was labor with better branding. You rented compute, distribution, payments, identity, data access, and you owned a UI. Every platform shift reset your leverage. That's not ownership, that's digital sharecropping. Ignore the headlines. Watch the allocations. There are 3 layers now. Layer 1, the infrastructure. This is where industrial capital is flowing. This is where the big tech is quietly relocating its leverage, data centers, chips, power. This is where hyperscalers and sovereign funds build moats. Layer 2, cognitive systems. This is where venture capital is concentrating. Not SaaS, not dashboards, systems that learn in production. Systems with memory, embedded workflows, switching costs created by behavior, not contracts. Layer 3, traditional SaaS. Commoditize, margins compress, retention weakens, features replicate. This isn't opinion, it's the pattern playing out across every platform shift. You probably heard this line, memory is the new moat. It's true, but it's also incomplete. Memory alone is storage. The real moat is a compounding asset stack, a digital worker with 5 layers. Identity, a persistent role inside the organization, proof, logged decision and outcomes, auditable behavioral IP, accountability, responsible for results, not conversations, learning, improves decisions and workflows over time, compounding value. Every task increases switching costs, agents execute, workers accumulate institutional intelligence. That's the difference. Here's the pattern what most people missed. Co-pilots, assistants, agents were a narrative bridge. They bought time, while founders chased ARR, hyperscalers built infrastructure moats. The UI got attention, the data centers got funded. Now the narrative is shifting from look what AI can do to show me what it reliably produces. That's an architectural shift. Here's the trap. Session-based systems reset. Reset systems don't learn. Systems that don't learn don't compound. So teams compensate with more tools, more prompts, more oversight, and then they become the glue. The systems run on their nervous system. That's not scale. That's fragility disguised as progress. Now, this is the pivot most people miss. SaaS sells access, AI agents sell automation, digital workers sell outcomes. Tools help you work faster, workers reduce the need for you to be present. That's gravity. Systems that pull work towards themselves. Systems that become harder to remove every day. Now, if this resonates, it's because you've lived it. You've been carrying context, remembering exceptions, preventing collapse. You wear the memory layer. The exhaustion you feel isn't burnout, it's architectural mismatch. That pain doesn't go away with better tools. It goes away when the system no longer needs you to survive. Anything that can't remember, learn, own outcomes eventually dies. AI agents don't compound by default, workflows don't compound, prompts don't compound, workers do. That's the shift from tools to assets, from sessions to systems, from rowing to gravity. I'm documenting what comes after SaaS. If you're building AI systems that reset instead of learn, if you're tired of being the glue, if you want to turn workflows into a compounding asset, then I've put together a digital worker transition guide. No hype, no pitch, just the architecture. Because the SaaS dream was never about freedom. It was about who owns the system, and now there's a new system. AI agents are tools. Digital workers are balance sheet assets. The operators who see this early don't sell software, they sell gravity. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. to get notified every time I drop a video about this topic. This is Imtiaz signing off, Digital Workforce OS.